Hello everybody, Nicole here, and I'm so happy to be crafting with you today. I've got some beautiful Christmas cards that are just going to take you a few minutes to make. They're perfect for beginners who have decided to jump into card making in time for Christmas, but are realizing very quickly that it might take a little bit more time than you thought. So let's get to crafting and you'll see how easy this can be. This project is really simple, but really gorgeous. Look at all of that luscious shimmer that I have in all of these cards. And let me tell you, this only took me about 10 minutes to make this entire pile. So I'm going to show you how easy this is, and we're going to come up with about 4 more cards to add to my pile. These will all be going out for Christmas. I'm not adding a sentiment because they're just absolutely stunning and beautiful all on their own. So let's get started. I have very simple tools today. I've got a 3D embossing folder, so go ahead and find a favorite holiday embossing folder, or if you're going to be doing this for something non-holiday, of course you can do this technique with any other embossing folder. So basically we're going to be using this to create a letterpress effect, and I need my die cutting machine, so whether it's a manual crank or an automatic machine like this one here. So I've got those two things, and then the real key to this is this beautiful Delicata ink from Sukaneko. It comes in 12 colors. They are all shimmery and metallic. So right here I have golden glitz, silvery shimmer, and ruby red. And of course there are a whole bunch of other colors, so a total of 12 that you can pick from. And then I have just some regular cardstock. Now I'm using these smaller size. These are 3.5 by 5-inch note cards. It's a smaller size for sure, but it's really nice for a petite holiday card or for any other time of the year. So I have these pieces here, and they're cut down to 4 3/4 by 3 1/4, and these will fit in perfectly on my card bases. And I just have a couple of colors that I picked out, and they all are going to use the same technique. So basically, like I said, I'm going to be using this as a letterpress. So I'm going to open this up, and I've decided that this is the top side. It's going to push in these little elements, and those are actually what's going to get colored. So I'm going to take my first card piece, and I'm going to use the white, and I'm just going to add this down to my my embossing folder here. And then up in the top area is where I'm going to add the ink. So this is a piece of white. If I wanted to do it in red to make the poinsettias look red, I'll use my ruby red, and I'm just going to add this right to my embossing folder. So like I said, you can do this technique using any embossing folder, but this is a really quick way to get your holiday cards done. So now that I have that on here, I'm going to go ahead and sandwich this closed with my piece of cardstock inside, and you can see what that looks like. And then I'm just going to pop my plates on the top and the bottom and run this through my die cut machine. All right, so I have this run through my die cut machine, and let me open this up and show you what happened. So all of the ink that was on the top of the embossing folder went onto my piece of cardstock, and it pushed in all of those little pieces. So this is what the back side looks like. This is what it would look like if I didn't have any ink on it at all. But now that I've added the ink, you can get a really glorious impression with that. So all I have to do now is add this to my card base, and I'm done. So I'm going to run you through a few other color options, and I'll see you on the other side. So now I have all of my prints done, and Delicata is a water-soluble ink. So as you were watching the video, you probably saw me just cleaning this up with a wet rag. and it cleans up beautifully. So you could either run this underwater, or you could go ahead and use a rag and just clean up in between colors. And there we go. So my embossing folder is ready to go for another project. Now all I have to do is add these to my card bases. And like I said before, I'm not even going to bother with adding a sentiment on them because I think they are glorious all on their own. I'll go ahead and add in a sentiment on the inside, whether I choose to handwrite a note or I choose to print something out and just adhere it on the inside. Either way works just perfectly for this kind of project. I hope you enjoyed this super fast holiday idea. What kind of plans do you have for your Christmas cards? Go ahead and leave me a comment down below. I'm so glad you joined me today, and I hope that you enjoyed this video too, so please do leave it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. I'll be back soon with more quick craft tips, but until then, happy crafting.